Hi! After a bit of practice, this spot checking should only take a few minutes. First I conceal my under eye. I conceal by my nose, I fill in my brows and my mascara. Then I put on blush, bronzer, or both, a lip color, and cover anything else that I might need to that does not match with my normal skin tone. At first, I put the concealer most everywhere under my eye, from left to right. Then I blend it in thoroughly. This is a thin layer. And then I might add a bit more after blending to the very corner that most people have their darkness. There's a very thin skin underneath the eyes, so that area generally either shows pink or brownish dark tones. So that's where you really want to focus your concealer. You really don't want your concealer to go too far beyond that, especially if there's crepey skin involved, because then it will get a bit too creasy in that area under the eye. Once I've blended my under eye area, a motion of both swiping and patting. Patting is to keep it heavily pigmented. In certain spots you need that extra coverage. Swiping is for reducing or blending out into the skin so that it kind of vanishes and thins out as it hits the skin without foundation. You want to make sure your color is just a hint lighter than the regular tone on your skin, but definitely within your range. I'm a golden color, so I use very golden concealer. And then I move it across my under eye, especially where it's darkest. I move towards my nose with the same motions, patting, blending out, both. Another thing to consider is when you have deep grooves in the corners of your mouth, you can definitely soften the darkness of that groove by blending out your nose area into that groove and softening and adding to the brightness of your skin. And at that point, once you're really kind of done with the nose area, which is where usually everyone has some darkness, you concentrate on anywhere else part of your face that has imperfections or elevation in acne or scars. It's a bit more complicated to cover those. Sometimes it's a process of applying the concealer, then patting it in, applying a little bit of powder so there's a bit of grip, and then you apply another coat of concealer on top. If it's just a simple spot, you just simply blend a few layers in. You cover each time, blend it, and then put another layer on top. Once you've blended everything into the spot, you definitely set it with powders. Powder is the key for keeping foundation in place, especially on oily skin and on hot days. So here it is, a fresh look for day. Concealer just where you need it, spot checking only where you need it. If you want a little bit more moisture added to this look after powdering, you can use a water mist bottle for a bit of glow if you have oily skin. And if you have dry skin, you can use moisturizer in your cheek area especially, and maybe the tip of your nose. Fan brush application is the lightest powder application you can possibly have. You can use a fan brush first in your T-zone area, your forehead, your nose, a tiny bit under the eyes, then anywhere else that you might have an oily spot. A powder brush application is also very light, but if being a bit bigger than a fan brush, it might apply the powder a bit more than a fan brush will. It's great if it's tapered. It can be used in corners, under the eyes, and again all over the T-zone. So as for a puff applies powder most intensely. It picks up oil and deposits powder at its most extreme. It's great for long wear or for oily skin in the T-zone, and sometimes everywhere depending on the amount of oil the skin has.